Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Meliora, my color coordinated fairy meadow island. I'm saying it in a weird way like that because it's been almost half a year since I showed you an update of this island or like told you anything about this island. But today is the day for that, I think. Now, I'd like to explain a little bit about what's been going on, why I haven't shown anything of this island, and all of that kind of stuff. If you just want to skip right ahead to the update tour, of course, it's perfectly fine. I will put the timestamp on the screen right now and also add a chapter on YouTube. All right, we should probably get a little bit comfortable for this because it'll be a second. All right, so to those of you who remember this island, you probably also remember that I used to play this pretty much on stream, which was around like 3 times per week. And so I pretty much only played it on stream and never really in my free time, except for maybe like acquiring items. However, my plan was for this island that I was going to share the entire process on YouTube as well, and I was going to cut up streams into videos, which I've done for a few of them. There is a Meliora playlist on my channel. I'll link it down if you want to check any of the videos out. It's like starting the island, and we did a mood board together, and we did like the code shopping together. And my plan was to continue creating videos like that and pretty much have one video per colored area on this island, since it is a color coordinated, like a color themed island pretty much. However, I am a very slow decorator, and then in addition to that, with a chat on the side, I get really distracted, and so it takes me a long time to just finish decorating one area. And plus, in addition to that, I'm a very messy decorator, meaning I usually don't finish one area before I like already want to start the next one, you know, like instead of like actually finishing the entrance, I moved on to the red area. And so decorating one specific color dragged on for like multiple weeks. And not only that, it dragged on for multiple streams. And so I would end up with around 3 to 4 streams per area, dragged out over a few weeks. And I just had this massive backlog of streams and stuff to work through. And with 3 or 4 streams per area that are like around 4 hours each, if you take away the chatting portion, I guess it's like 3 hours of gameplay, I would have around like 9 to 12 hours of streams that I would have to completely watch through, since I was talking the entire time and I didn't actually know what was important, that I would have to watch through completely and then edit into videos. And as you can imagine, especially with this dragging on for weeks and me not really having one area finished to really focus on, this was a huge task for me. And it got so huge and so like overwhelming that I just kept putting it off. In addition to that, I also had my Let's Play island, so I kind of wanted to keep that going. And then I started the 14-day challenge, which kind of took all of my time and really was a lot of fun, but I didn't have any time to really edit. And so it just kept being pushed back. And then I decided to take a step back from streaming for now, which was, I think, over 2 months ago now. And with Meliora being my stream island, and then I have Callan, which is my Let's Play island, so I only ever play it when I actually record something for YouTube. And my third island, because I do have 3 islands, but my third island is one I built together with my roommate. So I ended up not really having any island that I could actually play on for myself while I'm just sitting on the sofa, which is kind of terrible because I still love this game and I want to play it all the time. So I made the decision to use Meliora for that. And so I've been making a bunch of progress on it without recording anything. So even if I wanted to edit all the stuff into videos, there's quite a bit of stuff that I don't have any footage of, unfortunately. And so I've kind of made the hard decision to not share the process of all the different colors, just because for a lot of them, I'm not able to share the process. And also because the entire editing has just become such an overwhelming, anxiety-inducing, not fun activity that I just don't think I could share it and be like happy with it and be proud of it and stuff like that, which I very much apologize for, because I know I said at the start that I wanted to share this process here on YouTube as well. And I know that a few people, or like a lot of people, were really excited about that too. So I do want to apologize for that. And I hope you can understand where I'm coming from. I hope that everything I said now kind of makes sense. But of course, I didn't just want to completely abandon this island because I've still been working on it. I still want to complete it. I still want to have a DA at some point. And so I thought I would give you an update of this island. It's the new year, so, you know, it's time to check in. And I will show you around. I will show you what I've been doing. I will share some of my thoughts and some of my ideas with it. And of course, there will still be the final island tour and the final like DA and everything. So you can still go ahead and visit this island at some point if you want to and kind of take a look around and see everything that I've decorated. I hope that this is an okay solution. Once again, I do apologize for not living up to what I had promised. And I kind of hate that. I would have loved to have like a complete Meliora playlist, but I just don't think it's gonna work out. So I hope that this is okay. And now I would say without further ado, let's go ahead and do the tour. And with that, once again, welcome to Meliora. Here's our little flag, which is supposed to kind of transport the meadowy vibe. So once again, I'm calling the theme of this island Color Coordinated Fairy Meadow. I will link my website down below, which has all of the codes I use on this island, plus I think a little bit of extra information, as well as like a trailer I did for this island, because in case you remember my Four Seasons island, my resident rep on that island was a witch who saved that island from like earthquakes and catastrophes by splitting it into the 4 seasons and therefore restoring nature's balance. And this island is supposed to kind of be a continuation of that lore and of that theme. My resident rep is supposed to be the same person, however, she had to adapt her powers and tap more into fairy powers instead of witch powers, as she found this island, which was kind of void of color. Like, that's the storyline. It's supposed to be like a very dull island and very like colorless and sad. And she decided to try and restore all these colors by once again splitting the island into all of these different parts. And therefore we have different color coordinated sections. And I will actually show you a picture, or I will show you the map, and then I will tell you where the different colors are. So here is what the map currently looks like. If you have been like watching the streams that I did of this island, you will probably notice quite a few changes. But basically the entrance is kind of where the resident rep lives, and it's supposed to be the more like nature area. It has a lot of green and like cream colored, so it's supposed to be very like meadowy and neutral, I guess. Then going off to the right hand side, we have the red area. I will introduce the villagers as we explore the island, I would say. But from red, you then go to purple, and then we go to yellow. There is also a white and black area at the back of the island. We've got blue in the top left corner, then pink, and last but not least, we have orange. And then from the orange section, you go into the middle part, which is supposed to be the area where all of the colors flow together. So this is the area that, you know, where it really shows what the witch or the fairy has done, because all the colors are able to blend in together again, and it's supposed to be this very like colorful meadow. All the villagers for this island are here, so this is going to be the final lineup. Lots and lots of cuties. It looks pretty random on here because they're all like completely all over the place, and obviously supposed to be like color themed villagers. But I would say, let me show you around. So here is our entrance. Don't look at the spoiled turnip, please. I have a bad habit of purchasing turnips for digging up trees, and then I just forget about them and they rot. So that is, we don't talk about it. But here is the entrance. We have a lot of like nature stuff, as I said before. I wanted to use a lot of green, so this area has a lot of like green mums, a lot of the glowing moss too, because of course we've got a little bit of magical stuff happening. The beach is still not done. The beach is actually not done anywhere, and the beaches are a little bit interesting because most of the time you can't actually even access them, or only through very like weird pathways, which I'll show you. But yeah, so basically this is very, very much this like light green and cream colored. We've got a few mushrooms, we've got a few vines. My resident services is really close, so I included a little pathway here. And then you can already see the split over to the red area here, pretty much with the border of the resident services, which we'll go to next. I can also let you know there is a ladder back here which you can climb up and get a good view of the middle section. I don't want to do that just yet though, because it's kind of spoilers, which we don't like, so we're gonna go there later. But yeah, and then also there is my house here. right by the entrance with a few gyroids, and of course this like magical pond which my fairy resident rep uses to replenish her powers. Also, in case you remember the way that my resident rep looked at the very start, I've changed my look a little bit. I've decided to go more for this darker green dress and then go for the bow type hairstyle, which I've been really loving. So I think this might be the look of my rep for this island. Going over here to the right hand side, we can either go to the beach, which holds my able sisters, which I put to the red area because I thought it's I don't know, it's kind of like a cross between red and pink, I almost feel like, but it felt more accurate to put it here towards the red. So there's that. And then the incline is still, you know, in the style of the entrance. And then there is the red area. You can pretty much see how much of a change the different areas are. I always love to stand in these transitional areas and kind of see the difference. Also, actually, let me show you my codes. Like I said, they should all be linked on my website, but we basically have a few different pathways which I keep switching in between, and a few like basic codes up here, and then I just have around maybe like 5 to 6 codes per area that I keep just like switching in between. I actually still have a few open tiles, and I even have this code that I made for the Once Upon a Time inspired island. So I also still have my flag and my phone thing. So I have quite a few open tiles still, but I've been doing okay with the ones that I have, I will say. Now, one thing I wanted to pay attention to when I decorated these areas is I didn't want it to be too kidcore-ish, because I think it's very easy to bring these like color themed areas into a kidcore style. Fauna, are you okay? But I wanted it to be more of a fairy aesthetic. So the red area, for example, has this type of like mushroom foresty vibe. You will also see a lot of the star fragments scattered throughout. And then also I was able to catch some presents, like shoot some balloons down and get them in pretty cool spots. And yeah, we've got a bunch of mushrooms, and then we do have Fauna living here in the red area. She could kind of be considered brown, but I think she has a very like red tint to her, is it fur? I don't know. But yeah, I also redid all the houses to fit the aesthetics. And then next to Fauna's house, you can also climb up, and there is a little picnic here, a little red themed picnic. That, you know, you can just kind of chill and relax, and you can also see the purple area already. Once again, I think this is just kind of cool to see how different all of this looks just by focusing on different like flower colors, etc. Speaking of flowers, you will notice quite a few of them because this does, like, it is supposed to have a meadowy aesthetic, and so I've been using a ton of flowers because they make it really easy to bring across the color vibe. Going up here, we have this like magical tomato and mushroom farm. Interesting crossover. We don't question it. We've got Bill living here, a little dark red duck, and yeah, lots of tomatoes and lots of little mushrooms. But that's fine. I just finished decorating this area. I think like the day before yesterday. I just had a few filler things to do. And then this is kind of what I mean when I say it's hard to access the beach, because sometimes you can climb down, but you don't really get any further. And I've built myself in on this island like many more times than I could actually count. So you're welcome to try once I upload the DA, but I'm not promising that you're gonna succeed because it's kind of a little weird sometimes. All right, next up, we've got the purple section with a few gyroids greeting you. And then I will say purple, I think, was probably the most frustrating to this point. It really drove me towards the promise of burnout. I'm not gonna lie. I think this got me very close to just putting down the game or putting down this island and just not picking it back up. So yeah, but I just finished it the other day too, so I'm quite happy with it now. We do have a flower farm right here to the entrance with some hyacinth lamps. We have Mallory living in the purple section. I think she's a really cute villager. We've got, of course, the purple house. And then you will notice that these ducks look exactly like Mallory, and that's because they're her children, duh. And they're just making their way over here to the water. I actually also started decorating the interior of Mallory's house. It's not done yet. Unfortunately, she's asleep, so I can't show you. But there's even a few more ducks in there too. So she's supposed to, like, she's gonna have this like purple nursery home, basically. Yeah. Going further back, we also have the, oh my god, see, it's been a while since I said this. I now don't remember how to pronounce it. Pergola. We don't know. But yeah, it's one of the main items I knew I wanted to put into the purple area. We have a few more gyroid friends here and there. We also have this glowing pond because it's a big purple item that uses a bit of space. And then there's one more flower farm here. I think I might actually customize this table to have not the white tablecloth underneath, but just kind of have that darker one that I have by the entrance of the purple section. So this one here, because I feel like it blends in a little bit better. But apart from that, I think this area should be decorated. Once again, we've got a whole bunch of star fragments scattered throughout, and also some like butterflies and stuff, which is, I feel like for me, that transports like the fairy vibe. But yeah. I still have a few flowers stored here, but I just wanted to briefly show you the peninsula because I did decorate it. I used a few of the shell items. It felt a little wrong to use them in any other areas throughout, but yeah. And then this is what I mean, like you can't even go to the beach here. So the entire like bottom right corner of the beach is completely like inaccessible. I'll probably still put stuff there because I feel weird if I don't. But I think it'll just be like a few flowers in this specific colors, etc. All right, let's cross over to yellow, which as you can see has a lot of open space. I started it though, so there is a bit of stuff to see, but there's also still a lot to fill. So the main idea for this one was to have a big flower farm and a little bee farm over here. We've got Sheldon in this area. I didn't want to take like Joey or someone very obvious, but Sheldon was someone I've never had on any island before, so I really wanted to try having him on this one, and I really like him. I think he's really cute. I haven't decorated his house, otherwise I'd show you the inside. But yeah, there's still so much to do here, really. But I did start, and then also we do have an incline with more flowers. There's more flowers. There is mum cushions, and then these fake tulips. But yeah, so we need lots and lots of filler stuff, many more trees, probably many more of these big mushroom items as well. But the yellow area was a lot of fun to decorate, so I might tackle that one next. From this area, let's hop over to the next one, and don't worry about these. I was marking some tree spots. This is going to be the black area. Now, it looks a little weird right now because I've just put down some things I want to actually use in this area and that I just want to kind of store here because I use them in the white area, and I want those two to kind of be comparable because I think that's kind of fun and because they're right next to each other. And then I did just start a little bit over here. I'm planning on using pretty much only cedar trees because they're really dark. And then also I've been using the light green wheat field for most of the island, but I was using the golden ones in the yellow section. I don't know if I have any around, but I think so. Yeah, so here I use the golden ones, and then in the black area I plan on using the dark green ones because, you know, they're a little darker and I feel like that would kind of fit. We have Hamfrey as a resident in the black area because we have Flurry as a resident in the white area. And I think having a white and black hamster right next to each other for these two areas is just absolutely adorable. I think my plan was to stunt this tree, by the way, so it doesn't block as much of the view. But yeah, I'm really happy with this because I tried to kind of almost mirror it, but still make it look like not super symmetrical. But so there's the duckies like greeting each other, and then both of the pictures have like different little stools underneath, and the houses are exactly the same, just with a different door. But I'm very, very happy with this like split section here. And then there is the moon in between because this is a very magical place. I haven't done Flurry's house on the inside, but I definitely will. And then this is the white area, which is pretty much, I think this should be completely decorated. And a lot of this is inaccessible, which I think counts for a lot of the island, but it's really only supposed to like transport the vibe of these colors, which I think it still kind of does. And this is very, I feel like this is a very like elegant core kind of vibe with all those ruined like arches. And then we've got some more duckies kind of making their way through this area. We have some bunnies, we have some butterflies. I really do like a few of these views though. I don't know, I felt like it was kind of a nice vibe to have, and I want the black area to be really similar in that I also want to use these lanterns, and I want to use these like pillars in like the black and red customization, and I want to use like black fencing, black duckies, black bunnies. Like there's a lot of things that I can really use the same of. So I think that'll be very fun. Then let's head over into the blue area. Now this one still has a few open tiles, like a few open like filler areas. This one was kind of fun, but also really tough because there's only 3 blue flowers that I actually like, which are the windflowers, the hyacinth, and the pansies, because I personally am not a fan of roses. I tend to not use those. But yeah, so I started this area, but there's still a bunch of open things because I felt like it was getting very repetitive with the flowers, but using items makes it all very laggy, which it already is in a bunch of places, so yeah. Also, this is a house that I started decorating on the inside, but Filbert also is not home, so there's that. And then over here you can also see that there's still quite a bit of open stuff. But I started to kind of distribute a few of the main items, and you can climb up here, which is basically just for you to get like a somewhat decent view. It's interesting what I did with the wheat fields up on the cliff behind Filbert's house, because there's this like open gap, but I think I wanted the balloon to be there, so I guess that makes sense somewhat. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is the blue area, and then I think like back here I also haven't really done much. There's still a bunch of flowers on the beach to use, but yeah, this is the blue area so far. And then from this one we're gonna cross over, and as you can see, there's a lot of nothing over here. There is a lot of nothing. This is going to be the pink area, and I think in terms of the landscaping it's actually gonna stay like this. So basically this area will also have some like bigger mushrooms, you know, the Mario mushrooms I think come in, or the small Mario mushroom comes in pink. There's some type of mushroom that comes in pink, and there's a bunch of like the festivali things maybe that I can use. I'll see about this area. It's gonna be interesting because I don't usually tend to decorate a lot with pink, and this area is quite big too, but we'll see. So basically I want the path to kind of get just, I don't know, snake its way through here. And then we've got both of these houses, which is Ursula on the left here with this house, and then Freckles with the round type house over here. And I want the path to kind of go in between and then circle its way around to this spot where you can like hop over to the next. However, you can also take a little path to the bottom here because I wanted to probably include like a picnic area. We can also do like a flower farm, some things like this. As you can see, I got Lily of the Valley spawning all over the place because for some reason Isabel thinks that this half-finished island is 5 stars, which I'm not going to complain about, so you know. And then last but not least, at least in terms of the color themed areas, we've got orange, which I just started a little pumpkin patch over here, and then these are supposed to be tree spots. And we've got Sally living in this area. I don't know if the house is gonna stay like that. I think there were like a few more options for the house, but for now I wanted to kind of try this. And you're gonna basically take the path and just hopefully see as much of this area as you can. Here's Sally, who always sings. She is so cute. She always like dances and sings everywhere. It's really, really adorable. Yeah, exactly. You, I'm talking about you. Then behind my house, so this is behind my house basically, you can pretty much climb up here also just to get a picture of the middle area, which should be completely brand new for pretty much all of you because I've just very recently done this. I think this will look wild if you have like a wide angle camera. I'm gonna have to maybe contact someone who does and see this once it's done because you're gonna see like the entire black and white area in the background too. But basically, once you've seen all the different colored areas, so you're really supposed to go this way around the island, you're gonna go down here, and this will be a very colorful meadow, and in the middle of it, we have a rock garden, which was a pain to do, let me just tell you. It took forever, but I finally did it. I finally finished the rock garden, and it has the magical source in the middle, of course, And then you will notice all the different colored flowers pretty much for where the areas are kind of supposed to be. So we've got red, purple, yellow, and then I left out white and black because they're just supposed to be like the neutralizing forces. And then we've got the blue, the pink, and the orange, and I tried to use like different flowers. So we've got all the different types of flowers, all the different types of colors as the magical source in the middle. And then I would like to, there's still a bit of waterscaping I have to do here, but basically you're also supposed to walk around the same direction as the entire island. So you're supposed to make your way kind of to the side here, cross over this bridge by the magical source, and then you are supposed to kind of walk to this bridge here. Maybe like there's gonna be like a picnic or something somewhere where you're supposed to walk over here and then kind of just like circle all the way there. And I still have a bit of flower storage, but then my plan is wherever there's like a waterfall coming down from the division from the different areas, it's supposed to also kind of continue on and go into this like middle water. I think initially my plan was to have them very almost going straight to this middle water, but I found that it's much prettier if I just let them kind of be winding rivers like this. And then there's also like this huge space over here, which you don't really see most of the time, unless maybe I do a hop spot or something. I haven't really figured that out. And I've just been kind of making like these winding rivers, which I think just looks a little bit prettier. So yeah, there might be like another bridge here, depending on how that looks from the front. It might look a little stupid having two bridges, like in front and behind the magical source, but yeah. And then you can also see like the white area from like the front, which I think looks actually kind of cute with the fencing. And then here is the campsite, which is going to have a camper. I could have invited someone. I actually time travel, so none of the shrubs have flowers on them for this update tour. I could have remembered to put a camper in. Actually, let me briefly do that. Okay, let's pretend these last few seconds never happened. So yeah, if you continue your path over here past this like white area, which I also really like because you can see the fence and it all looks very cute. We also have the campsite right here because I thought it would kind of fit to place it against the white area because of like the tent. And you're basically also going to like circle around, and there's a little bit more water here, which we need to connect for sure. And then there is one over here as well. And I'm pretty sure there is one between like the pink and the orange. Yeah, there we go. So there's still like a few rivers to connect. And I haven't quite decided if you're supposed to like end up here again to easily go up the staircase, or like if there's another like river you need to maybe hop over, because you've pretty much seen the island. If you do this in like a DA, if you look at this island in a DA, at this point you could just wake up using minus or something. So we'll see how I connect all of this. And then obviously this entire like middle meadow part, save for of course the middle thing, like the magical source, hasn't been decorated at all. But let me share an idea that I had, or like a way that I want to do this. So every time there is the border in between area, so like here would be the entrance to the red area, or then over here would be red to purple, I want to kind of make it so the color of that area is bleeding into the middle. So towards the corners here, or towards like the edges here, there will be a lot more purple, and then there might be like a little bit of yellow mixing in from the from like up above, and there might be a little bit of red mixing in from this side, and then going towards the center, it'll very much blend together. So towards the center, it's supposed to be more colorful, and if you go more towards the edges, it's supposed to be more the colors of that specific area. So like here is the waterfall kind of separating the pink and the blue. So like towards this edge here, we would have a bunch of blue flowers, and then going over into a bunch of white flowers. So the campsite kind of could be like an extension of the white area. And then here in the middle, the white and the black would kind of blend together a little bit. And then I think between black and yellow, etc., etc. I hope that that is easy to understand, like what I mean by that. And I feel like the meadowy part will have, well, a bunch of, or a few trees at least, but I want to keep this relatively open so that if you stand, oh yeah, wait, there's something I forgot to show you. So you can climb up here, from the middle part, and then this is kind of that incline, or not incline, that ladder behind resident services I showed you at the start, which you can also use to climb up and then get like a kind of cute view, you know. And I want you to be able to see a lot of these areas when you climb up to this. So I don't want to have it completely be covered with trees. I want it to be very meadowy, very open. So there's going to be some trees around the corners, and then like smaller ones to the center probably, but nothing like too crowded. And I think we're gonna have a bunch of like butterfly models. We're gonna have a bunch of bunnies, you know, just like this very happy meadowy section. I also think we could probably have you climb up this part. I do have vines with me, you know, and then you could probably stand here and get like a cool view of this with a bit of the pink to the left and then kind of like the center part. So yeah. I've made some progress. I think that last time I streamed, the purple area wasn't finished. There were still a few details missing for the red area. I hadn't done the white area at all, except for the landscaping maybe. And I'm not even sure I shared any of the blue area yet. So a lot of changes have happened. But as you can see, there's also still a lot of work to do, but I'm very excited for that. I also do want to decorate all the interiors as well. So that'll be very, very interesting. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little update tour. Once again, I apologize for not sharing more of this progress and process, but I hope that that's okay. And Mallory is home. Okay, let me briefly show you what her house looks like. I think I abandoned it halfway through. Yeah, I definitely did abandon it halfway through. There's a few things here that I don't think I planned on having here, but as you can see, it is very purple. It is very, very purple. So, yeah. And then we've got more ducks and, you know, nursery vibes, etc. So, yeah, it's supposed to be purple. I don't think Filbert is home, though. I think Filbert was he was awake, but out and about. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this update tour. I hope you like the island. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your favorite area or like your favorite color. Which one would be the one that you would like to decorate most? And then make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe if you don't want to miss the final island tour, and of course updates on all of my other islands as well. And then I hope you have an awesome time until I see you in the next video. Bye everyone!